Welcome to Kate Was Here, an improvised storytelling experiment written and performed by Doug Banks and Kat Blackard. To support this and other surprise RPG experiences, head to patreon.com/omniversemedia.
So, in the junkyard and like the workshop area, Doc and Jimmy are both inside the DeLorean. Like the doors are open. They're kind of leaning inside, like looking under the dash and everything like that. And you approach, they're both just going to be talking amongst themselves, working in there. They don't notice you approach.
How are the time circuits?
And Doc will come out and go, "Oh, Kate," and he's like, everything sounded it got crazy here. Are you all right? Are you on?
Yeah, we called it an airstrike, believe it or not.
It was fascinating. I had it's a strange configuration of it was like a plane almost, but it had hover technology and it was
That's a drone.
Yeah, but quite different from the ones that I'd seen before. It doesn't matter. The point is, time circuits unfortunately sustained some damage. These ones will not be operational unless I were to get replacement parts, and as far as we know, the best replacement parts would be on the other DeLorean time vehicle.
Yeah, I was afraid you were going to say that. Okay.
Other than that, I know that worst case scenario, we could try to repair the engine here, and it would take some time, but it is possible without needing the other pieces. But if we had the other DeLorean, it would go much faster.
All right. Hey, Jimmy, does Ava have spies in Eli's forces in Hill Valley, or like, is there any do people come and go secretly ever?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, we're a pretty small community here, and I mean, there might be people around that frequented there back in the day before Eli showed up, but we don't go over there anymore. At least not to my knowledge. I don't think Ava sends anyone out because ever since we cut ties with them, we've been focusing on building things up here. She hasn't wanted to risk sending people out who might never come back.
Right.
But if anyone would know, it would be Ava.
Okay. Doc, I'm cooking a couple maybe bad ideas for how to get through enemy lines and get that car. I don't know. Hey, you built a death ray in the 1970s or sometime. You built a death ray. I shot it once.
I had plans to build one. I hadn't a need to build one, so that this is alternate timeline situations. Then I have yet to build such a thing.
Do you think you could?
Well, it's not out of the realm of possibility, I suppose. I'd have to see some of the other electronics that are lying about here and see if maybe Jimmy could loan me some of the things in his machine shop. It's possible. Yes, I'd say it's possible.
I just feel like, gosh, it's like we had to kick this anthill to make them go away, and now they're like freaked out, and they're very unstable people. Doc, Jimmy, did you ever know Eli in real life?
Yeah, that was a long time ago. I think we're both very different people now.
He's the same as I remember him. Yeah, I met him through you, unfortunately, and I don't know enough about him to know of any weakness, any way to manipulate him, any way to
Well, he was a troubled kid back in high school. I don't know the details because we never really talked. It's not like we were close friends, but he got bullied a lot, and I remember he started fighting back, and it sort of let out an ugly, probably repressed side of him just before we graduated. And after that, I know he fell into some hard times. I really don't know much about what happened to Eli after high school. I've just heard rumors that he would just, kind of was slumming it up and would constantly get into trouble. But I know that he had a sort of repressed mean streak, but I never would have figured him for a leader of a gang or an army like this. This is unfortunate, but surprising, and it's just a shame because if circumstances were different, he could have been over here on our side if life had treated him a little bit better.
Sure. That makes sense as much as anything. All right, Doc, I'm going to tell you my bad idea, and then maybe we'll figure out what to do. So obviously, we got to get over there. I feel like the only way to responsibly get over there is ideally to do it all through sneaking, no direct confrontation. Seemingly, Eli wants to seize all power, and there's probably no way to talk him down from that. There's no bartering we could do to get that DeLorean out from under him. But it's drivable. It drove away from here, so if
the horses pulled it.
Oh, the horses pulled it. I forgot about the horses. Shit.
But you don't know anything about the inside of that vehicle.
Yeah. My bad idea is I don't know if anybody's supposed to know this, so please don't repeat it. The drone is still up there. It doesn't have much power. It should refuel. It can't do another volley like that. But maybe if we could get it to land, we could use it to drop somebody, like, safely in Hill Valley. I don't know if that's possible to do that, but get somebody behind enemy lines really quick and then figure out how to get that car back here. But that would be crazy, because as soon as we do that, the bullets are going to come here. But at least we'd know what's in there. Maybe we could just steal the parts and then get out somehow. There's also this drifter guy. He's got a motorcycle. He might be, and he's crazy. He helped us pull off the thing to make the strike happen, and he's pretty resourceful, so he could be the muscle that we'd need, but he's definitely more of a mercenary type, so we'd have to be able to hire him, probably, or promise him something worthwhile. But we gotta get over there. We gotta get over there fast.
Doc says, well, I do agree that the sooner we can get that DeLorean, the sooner we can repair this one and make our way out of here, but trying to land a drone and drop in behind those lines, I would imagine the drone would call attention to itself, especially now that they've seen what it can do. Have to find a way to maybe have a runway for this thing to land on, or there's options. So
yeah,
I will say that you do notice Ava shows up. She appeared to have been leading some men who were carrying some of the things that were promised to this drifter, which is Kim, I guess, now that we know. She breaks off from that group as they're walking away with some of that equipment and supplies, and she'll come over into the junkyard area, and she'll say, Kate, I want to thank you again for helping me out back there and getting the power restored. I told you before I was worried about what comes next, and I worry that it's only a matter of time before they come back, and we'll be fairly defenseless. The wind turbine can only give us enough power to power some of the lights here, get some of the plumbing working every now and then, some of the pumps to get the fresh water up from the reservoir. We can only operate it every so often. Your home fusion device that's attached to this vehicle would improve a lot of our lives here. We could even maybe recharge some of the old energy weapons that we do have and stand a fighting chance. Now, I know you want to get out of here, and I know you want to travel back wherever you came from, wherever that is, and I'm assuming this reactor is part of that.
Yeah.
And I know that if you're going to have to get parts to repair this, you're going to need whatever Eli had.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. We want to figure out how to go get it.
So, I'm offering our help to do whatever we can to get that vehicle. And all I'm going to ask in return is that you let us keep one of the fusion reactors.
Ava, that is a incredible deal. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, totally. We want those parts, and it's if we can get that thing back here, yeah, there'll be 2 Mr. Fusions, and maybe we leave with 1, but maybe we can charge some energy weapons off it. I don't know how it's wired up. Doc, can we charge energy weapons with it right now?
I mean, it's possible if we can at least do something in the meantime to help the defenses around here. I can't see why that's not possible. It depends on what the input is. I'm not familiar with these weapons, but I'm sure we could rig something up.
Cool. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. So, Ava's going to speak with Jimmy really quick about rewiring the Mr. Fusion that's on your DeLorean and trying to charge up some weapons in the meantime. She'll pull you aside and say, okay, the way I see it, there's a couple ways you could get into Hill Valley from here. If you go up through the ravine and through the canyon, you can remain basically undetected until you can climb up the ravine or up the canyon walls where it gets very shallow. And you already kind of know where the area she's talking about because you've been up there before. You can sneak in through the suburb developments there and make your way downtown just by sneaking around some of the alleyways and some of the buildings there. I know that Eli is based out of the clock tower. He's made that his central hub, and that's assuredly where they keep the stables and some of the vehicles because of the fuel reservoir, that the fuel reserves that they have there too. Probably along with some of the solar panels that they have in downtown, probably giving them some form of power when the sun does shine bright enough. So you can go overland that way, which carries its own kind of risks. Or we could get you in under the city through the service entrances and through the tunnel systems. Again, with its own sort of unique challenges and risks.
Okay. How many people do you think we would need to get in, get out, and get what we came for, and across the space between here and there?
Well, the fewer the people, the better. The
Right.
less attention you would draw to yourselves. Most of my people are known to the bullets, having that they've fought before. We've never had to face a wave of people this big before, but it appears that Eli is good at recruiting new people from the wasteland and is probably able to offer them some kind of shelter and food. But if I'm being honest, I really would prefer not to lose more people, but I know to ask you to go by yourself, no offense, Kate, again, but you don't really seem the type of person who's prepared for this sort of thing.
No, you are correct. Yes, I'm not.
But at that point, I'll
fighter.
say that you hear a whistle, and as you turn to look, you see the drifter is sort of sitting like with his chin propped up on two fists, with his elbows leaning on one of the burnt out husks of one of the cars that's in the junkyard. Don't know how long he's been there listening, but clearly he's been there listening.
Oh, hey Kim, you want to get recruited by the bullets with me?
He says, "Yeah, I was thinking of something along those lines. I'm familiar with the space between here and downtown Hill Valley. So if you're worried about anything topside, I think I know a way around it."
Cool. What's in it for you?
I just want the juice. And then Ava's like, "Well, we can charge your batteries now. I can't overcharge them more. So really, what's in it for you? Like, why are you interested in helping? We've already had a deal. What's your deal?" And he's like, "I'll see what the bullets have to offer. But I know the real deal here is getting a fusion reactor. But if I'm able to get some gear off of it myself, upgrade my bike, sounds pretty good to me."
Okay. Doc, you want in on this, or?
How do you mean?
I mean, I've snuck into a lot of places before. I've done a lot of reckless, crazy shit in the past little while. We're stealing a DeLorean, and maybe you need to be here working on this one to get it ready for a quick turnaround, or maybe you need to be with me so we can solve the problem. What do you think?
I think the longer I'm here, getting this thing ready to be repaired and on the go is probably for the best. But
Cool.
there is something I might be able to do to help you along the way. I can't make any guarantees, but I did just think of something. One moment. And he's going to head back to the DeLorean. He's going to dig in like under one of the consoles, and he's going to well, you don't see what he's grabbing, but he's grabbing something, and he comes back. He's something hidden in his hand, and as he comes over, he hands you what's obviously a spare key to the DeLorean, and he's like, I don't know what is happening with the other car, but it would be terrible if you made it that far and you didn't have a way to get in or to start the vehicle. So
Amazing.
keep that close.
I put it on a chain around my neck and tuck it into my shirt. Okay. I think I need some dirty clothes.
And he was like, well, we got plenty of those. So she can go find something and get you, we can do a quick montage, quick shoot up montage of your wasteland.
When the going gets tough, the tough get dirty.
But yeah, whatever. It's like just, you still have your boots, and we can get you like some dirty paint. We can just they can throw dirt like all over your pants and stuff to really blend into earth tones. Now is really the name of the game, I suppose.
Yeah.
They give you an old jacket that's just, which is weird because it's an old jacket, but it's even technically newer than the jacket you were wearing, which was clean if you really think about it.
Yeah.
But it's got holes
goggles.
all through. Yeah, oh yeah, I think the motorcycle goggles, like that, the whole 9 yards, really looking scuffed up and shit. Get something to wrap around your head, so maybe from a distance, no one can tell that you're a girl. You're just weird wasteland person.
Yeah.
Scarves and everything to kind of cover up the face and the goggles and whatnot.
There is no gender in the wasteland.
Yeah, I bet they can't. I mean, if they can tell from a distance, maybe that might be put a target on your back.
Yeah.
So, but with the wasteland chic, yeah, there's no. there's no typical dress for one way or another. In fact, when you first met Ava, who knew what was going on until she spoke? But yeah, so you're pretty set and you're pretty good to go. And Kim has his bike loaded up, good to go. And if you're ready to head out, you can hop on and be on your way, unless there's anything else you think you might need to go over. Oh, I will say, Doc will run over. As you're like getting ready and you're fully dressed now and ready to go, Doc will bring you your bag, which has the hoverboard in it, and he's got another thing in his hand which he's already shown you is what he bought at the mall before you left, which was the sleep generator device.
Yeah.
And he just shows you really quickly how it works. You just push down. It's almost like the size. It's like a Pez dispenser, except when you push down on the top button, the two little arms come out and the nodes light up. Yeah, just line that up.
Yeah.
And they should be out.
Excellent.
Although you could only use it so many times before,
Yeah,
battery goes out.
Hoverboard, that thing.
Sleep inducer.
Sleep
whatever.
inducer. And I'll leave everything. I don't think it. My
You don't need your
cameras certainly
camera.
don't have any need, or the phone for that matter. So yeah.
And if anything does come up, you can just ask, and if it's small enough and it would be in the bag anyway, it's probably a safe bet. But I don't think
Yeah.
you'd be bringing your camera because that's big, bulky, and delicate for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
What else? If there's anything else. I'm trying to remember if there's anything. I don't think there's any other gear that you had.
Yeah, I think no identifying stuff. Nothing that
Yeah.
puts me in any place or time.
Sure. Okay. Then with that, I think you're good to head out,
Yeah.
and they're gonna open the front gate for you as Kim sort of straddles the bike and gets on it, ready to go. He puts his goggles on, and you're gonna hop on the back.
Yep. Put my goggles on and. Tell you what, like none of this feels real anymore. But at the very least, I think I look cool in a kind of itchy sort of way.
All right. So with that, you are on your way, and Kim is just
My first time on a motorcycle. Pretty wild.
So you're not even going out through like through the ravine. Like you're not sneaking in. You're kind of going in the way like travelers would go back into Hill Valley. So you're working your way out of the ravine and out of the canyon and onto like one of the main old roads. There's burnt out vehicles, obviously, and there's cracks in the pavement and everything. It's like you've seen before in films and everything. And as you are making your way up to like the Hill Valley city limits and getting in, you see more and more signs of just scavenger settlements. Like there's just like people had survived out here for a couple of years before it got as bad as it is now. Like there's old tents and old like things where old maybe small communities. But as you get closer and closer to like where it's going to get more dense, closer to downtown, Kim is going to eventually slow the bike and just bring it to a stop. And so turn it off and like pull it into like an alleyway before you really get close to you're not even in downtown, but it's like on the outskirts of like the city proper. And
like Lion Estates?
Yeah, probably closer to like that area where it's more suburban, I guess, is like the better way to put it. So when you're out there, you're not seeing a lot of signs of life, but like the way that Kim is reacting, he's definitely on alert and keeping an eye out. And he's going to say, all right, so I think the way we play this is we just drifted in from out of town. If anyone tries to stop us, we put our hands up and just say we're passing through, we don't want no trouble, we're just looking for food or something like that. And if they give us any trouble, I have a stun baton with me, and we'll just do our best. If they have weapons, we'll have to take them, but in the meantime, let's just do some sneaking and see what we can find.
Cool. So
Kim will start leading you like through these suburbs, these old burnt, homes and such. It's kind of like exploring in Fallout. You just like there's a fridge and there's this and there's this. Every once in a while,
got some Rad-X.
Yeah, every once in a while you'll find skeletons, but it's not like a bomb had gone off. It's not like burnt out skeletons that died in a bomb, but more of just like people who may have just been malnourished, dehydrated, just died, and just they're bleached by the sun at this point. Not a whole lot, but just enough to be this like, damn, like.
Yeah,
obviously
this is extremely bad.
Yeah,
it seemed bad before, but now it's like really hitting me.
Yeah. And this like it really like you can't just go back and forget you've seen this. Like this has to stop. Like this has to be prevented. And as you're making your way, Kim is just gonna say just like, so you're from the past. Where like what exactly? Like what do you mean? Like like,
all right.
You talking like H.G. Wells?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, not like
1900s.
No, sorry, no. All right, so this is okay. So that old guy, he built a time machine.
Which old guy?
The one who was working on the car.
There was two old guys working on the car.
Right. Sorry. The guy with the loud shirt.
Okay.
Yeah. He's with me. Oh gosh, this is so complicated now. Right, okay, so basically, I come from an alternate 2016. I got in a time machine that he built. There was a prototype that threw me back to the 1980s, and then I met him, and then we changed time for the better. Because something went wrong with his timeline that created this tangent universe where a really, really, really bad guy ran the United States. And then we were just, but I got back. And the thing is that like the timeline I come from, I was an only child. Chiron didn't exist. But then I showed back up in 2016. Everything was different. Chiron existed. We met briefly, and I have memories of him that I didn't have before, but there was another me running around. So we left. We said, fuck it, let's go to, like, I don't exist. Let's go to the future. And this is where we came. So we're going to fix it.
You came from 2016?
Yeah.
Huh. All right.
I mean, I don't expect you to believe any of that. It sounds absolutely mind-numbing, but...
yeah, it's a little mind-numbing, and it's pretty crazy that you're also saying you're related to Chiron Ritchie. I mean, that just seems like a coincidence.
I have a theory about that, though. So, I don't know if he's going to put up with me. Like, there's a lot of weird coincidences. I keep meeting people who are like related or connected or something, and that's statistically improbable. I think we're like somehow people are connected in a way so that like magnets were drawn to each other in weird things. And you seem so familiar, and I don't know why. Do you know why?
Do I know why I'm familiar to you?
Yeah, am I familiar to you?
I've never seen you before.
Okay. Can't figure it out.
Well, as you're making your way again, so when you're looking at him like now, because like you're communicating more, he's not being as standoffish like as before. But as you're like sneaking around with him, and you know you're having that conversation, and he's looking at you, and he's just giving you a quizzical look, like I've never met you before. You're just seeing again something about his face, like you've never met this person before, but there's just little things about him, and the way he moves, the way he talks, and the way he like smirked before, and the way he like furrows his brow when you're like, am I familiar to you? And he like this, it's just something uncanny has happened, and you're racking your brain of like a memory, like was this, you're thinking of like, was it that alternate timeline memory type thing, but nothing really is cropping up, and then the math wouldn't make sense either, because the age that this guy is, like he was probably born like in the 2020s, like even before you'd even like left.
Do I get the impression that like I'm not seeing myself in this person, am I? Like,
no.
Okay.
No, but there's something familiar. I will say that because you're looking at him and he's looking at you, and he's like, you do look a little bit like Kyron though. So I don't know if you're a sister, but a niece might be more. Might make more sense.
Well, hey, when we get back to Claytonville...
Just Clayton or Claytontown?
Claytontown, I took a bunch of photos of the 2016 that I stumbled into. I've got... I don't know. I kind of have proof of something, but if that's of any interest, whatever, you know, like, it doesn't really matter. We just gotta...
Well,
I can't really stop to think about this too much because it's been, everything's real fucked up, Kim. Everything's real fucked up.
And he's gonna sort of like use his nose to point in the direction of like, he's like, I only asked because it wasn't far from here is where it happened.
Oh.
We were traveling together, and a gang of scavengers came out, ambushed us, and it was not pleasant. But I was able to hold a few of them off, but they got to the both, and I at least took out this guy's eye. So I think that guy's effectively useless now, and we scared the rest of them off.
Well, that's a bit ableist of you, but also intense of you. You're
But
a very intense person.
I haven't traveled with anyone since then, so that's why I'm a little hesitant about being here with you now, and the fact that you look like him it's weird.
Yeah. How long did you know him?
A while before everything happened. So he'll get quiet about it. See, it seems now he's getting, because he sort of expressed that discomfort of being here and with someone who looks like him, so he's going to clam up a little bit. But just before he even really gets to answer that question too much, you hear a weird sound coming from like whatever, and he's going to like sort of shuffle you like behind him really quick and like hold still for a second and just like wait. And there is another weird...
More rats?
He's like, yeah, definitely. So...
Fucking sci-fi rats.
He's gonna... like... So he's gonna like quietly keep you behind him as you start to move forward a bit more. But you eventually get closer and closer to where you can hear distant sort of sounds of a crowd, not like a large gathering crowd, but like it's sounding more and more like a town that you're coming into. You're coming into a downtown area, so it's a little bit more structured, a little less out in the open air waste area. But you are on one of the main roads at this point, and you can sort of hear a hustle and bustle up ahead of like maybe like a market or something like that. But before you can get too much of a sense of the surroundings here, Kim is going to put his hand out and stop you really quick. He's going to like make a motion to be quiet as he points. He's going to point down to the road in front of you, and like, because there's like cars and stuff in the way, so this is something that maybe you've kind of hidden, but there appears to be a laser, like a laser light, like a laser grid, just a few inches above the ground, coming from beneath these cars and like going off like to some areas in the bushes and stuff, like a sort of warning system. And beyond that, this laser grid, which you can only see because sometimes the dust blows through, you know, from like the wind. There's like several feet of broken glass. So it appears that this is like a barrier to like maybe like an early warning system where you wouldn't want to cross because it would cut you up, but also it would make noise, but also there's like a laser grid here. So he's like, we may have to take a long way around.
This isn't how you're supposed to walk into the city? Town? Whatever?
It was at some point, but this is new, and he's certainly got some energy now if he can afford to waste the juice on a laser grid system.
Great. Well, sure. Doesn't look something I could hoverboard over, right?
Actually, it does, because it's only a few inches off the ground.
Okay.
And you know your hoverboard can easily sit higher than that.
Yeah.
And
see if it supports too.
And he's kind of shaking his head at the situation because he's like, this would take we'd have to go around the town on the outskirts. This could take a couple more hours, and I don't want to be out here after sundown.
Well, and I unzip my backpack.
Mm-hmm.
I got me a Lisa Frank hoverboard.
And he's just like, the hell? Like he can't even believe that you, like the words that he knows what you said, but that sounds like the dumbest thing he's heard in a long time. Because
Pinched
it's like
from my very own alternate universe 2016 bedroom.
Yeah. And if you just sort of let it display it and let it hover there for a second, he's just like, all right, well, it's been a long time. All right, what are you thinking? You want to coast across that?
Coast across it? I don't know, this thing probably doesn't hold two, right? Like,
you could send it back.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, I'll go first.
All right, so you can, it's just hovering there, just right there, easy to go. You can step right on it. Give me your careful roll if you want to carefully get across this.
The result is 2.
Ooh. So I'll say you get on it, and you just give a gentle push, and you go along. You're coasting very safely over the laser grid, very safely over the broken glass, and it gets to a part where the glass has just ended in a nice, neat line. The glass ends like, smatterings here and there because people are probably just throwing bottles and stuff to just, like get it to where it needs to be. But as you finally coast, like after one good push got you, like right over several more feet, past where you need to go, you can calmly get off it, and you got it, and you're like, okay, like you made it, but it was pretty low and it was pretty smooth going, but just with the wind and stuff, it was just a little tricky. So if you want to send it back, I'll have to have another roll to make sure that you can send it, because there'll be no weight on it, and you don't want to get carried away and go off and hit a car.
In theory, I could throw it though.
Yeah, you could try and throw it too. So if you want to coast it back, you want to throw it back, whichever you want to do.
I think I probably I'm probably stronger to throw it than, because it's like hoverboards don't weigh much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll toss it. Should I be forceful or is that?
Let's say I'll go with forceful.
The result is 1.
Okay, I'll say that's I'll say that you sort of wind up, and you sort of give the signal to Kim. Kim sort of nods, he's ready, and you throw it. But as you throw it, it's like lighter than you even kind of realized. And the way it catches the wind, because it's pretty desolate out here, it kind of does a couple weird flips, so it changes direction kind of midair. But he'll catch it and just kind of like, give like a nervous look, sits it down, stands on it, and with his, dirty boots and such, gives himself a really good shove, and he silently glides, over the grid, across the glass, and ends up not far from where you are, gets off of it, hands it back, and he's just like, wow, okay, you just saved us like probably 2 hours, so.
Dope.
So he's like, hold on to that. That's crazy you got that. Like he can't even like explain. It's hard for him to he can't really contain the smirk at the idea that he just rode a freaking hoverboard,
It's so dumb. It's so bright. Everything's filthy here, and this thing's in pretty good condition.
It's really clean. So you got that. You start making your way in. Now, you really are definitely starting to hear like voices of people. Now the question sort of remains: do you want to like walk in kind of like you're expected? Do you want to like mingle with whatever crowd's going on out here, or do you like this is really up to you what you think you should do?
I asked Kim, like, so if we're here, are we already like in? Do we need to like prove ourselves or like get sorted into some fucking gang thing, or how's it gonna go down?
I haven't been here since the bullets took over, so I don't know how bad it really is. But
Shit, okay.
I just think as long as we play it cool and see what happens. Just be ready and try not to get separated.
Cool. All right.
So if you start walking into not the courtyard, not like the courthouse square, but parts of downtown Hill Valley that you would otherwise be familiar with, you start to see there's a decent crowd of people mingling about, kind of like they're waiting in line for food in certain places. And the thing that strikes you is that these all don't seem like psycho bullets. Like some of these are just people,
right?
But like badly off. Like the people over in Clayton Town seem to be doing okay, all things considered. But there's a lot of people out here, and a lot of them just really aren't doing good. But not all of them are bullets. Like the bullets were like skinheads, like they were like shaved heads and everything, and some of them had like what is either makeup or tattoos on them, and were just a little extreme,
Sure.
Like they were really going for it. But these people are just kind of normal people. You can blend into this crowd fairly well, but you do start to notice that there are bullets sort of just going through the crowd, shaking people up every now and then. So there are some bullets that seem to be out and keeping the law going in here, I suppose. It seems that they're the ones in charge.
Right. Okay. Do I recognize anything?
You recognize some of the older buildings of what used to be there, but there's like old businesses and stuff that you don't know. It's
Right.
businesses that are old to this time period, but would be super futuristic to you. Corporate names and logos, businesses, things. It's like an alien language because there's so many combinations of words and technobabble that you really can't even place like what was originally going on in these businesses.
Gotcha. Okay. Where I see it is like we just try to get as near to the clock tower as possible. See if anything kind of makes sense. See what sort of state the bullets are in after the battle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's every possibility that the DeLorean isn't at the clock tower. Like, maybe it's in an armory or something, Like,
Mm-hmm.
who knows? So we got to get the lay of the land, figure out where it's likely to be, and hope nothing goes wrong. Like, when Biff's goons pick you up and...
Well, as you're looking around, you can see that there are bullets that sort of move through in pairs through the crowd. There also appears to be seem to be more focused in the courtyard, like the courthouse square, and it does look like the courthouse is otherwise off limits to the common rabble. There are makeshift barricades around the front of it with some barbed wire. Being realistic about it, yeah, if you had decided to just charge the gates, you could hop over some of these things. It's really not that big of a thing. It's more of like a visual deterrent. Like, now granted, if you did that, you'd get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
But the idea being here is that they've scraped together it's not a lot of stuff they have that they've tried to scrape together here to try and keep things going. There's a couple tents in the courthouse square as well, but the steps that lead up to the courthouse steps actually have some like large wooden or metal planks that are like laid down, because you can see that inside the blasted out glass that was like the main doors to where the courthouse mall from the year 2016 used to be.
Yeah.
It appears to be used as stable area and also like maybe a makeshift armory, but you do see what appears to be the front end of the DeLorean parked inside. So if this was like in your mind, to sort of give you a sort of better picture, if this was the Lincoln Memorial with the steps and columns, where Lincoln would be sitting is like where the DeLorean is parked, like right there in the center. Sort of like it's on display as like maybe a status symbol.
Well, so is there still are there like crowds around doing whatever they're doing? These people like moving through the streets?
Yeah, you are among the crowds. I would say you're probably across the courtyard, so like you'd be like where the Cafe 80s was.
Yeah.
But it's all blown out, and it's not even it wasn't even Cafe 80s by the time things went bad.
Sure.
But you're on that side of the street, and so across the courtyard, across the square, is the clock tower. But there is like wooden barricades with some metal and barbed wire and stuff that would separate that half of the square.
It's really weird to me how many different ways I've seen this place at this point. Like, between that date with Betty to like Biff's fucking casino and when I knew it in my timeline and Cafe 80s, it's
as a mall, it was turned into the courthouse mall.
Yeah, it's like everything. I feel like if I stop at any given point in time, I'm gonna like explode. So I'm just gonna keep going. I looked at the most like shaky, vulnerable looking person that's like walking by and say, "Hey, so new here. What's up with that weird car?"
The weird... oh, you mean Eli's silver bullet?
Oh, on brand. Nice.
What? That's...
Like it's like a thing. Like, is like the bullets. Like, they're shiny like the car. It makes sense. That's all I'm saying. It makes sense.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's like his chariot. He rides around on it and he calls the shots.
Is that like a for real Mr. Fusion on there?
I don't know. I haven't gotten a good look, but I mean, they say he's it's his pride and joy. He likes to parade it around every now and then.
Cool as hell. One of the craziest things I've ever seen.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool, but well, Eli's Eli. What can I say? And he's gonna get a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. So what's that like? What's you know him? You met him?
Everyone knows Eli, but
well, I mean, sure, of course.
Why you're asking a lot of questions? I
don't know. All right, fuck you.
No need to be so rude, and he leaves. Like he's so this poor guy.
I'm trying to be a tough sci-fi person.
I mean, here you are, and so Kim has got his head on a swivel, but he's trying to keep it cool. He says, "Well, I don't think we could just walk right up and hotwire the thing. I don't think that's a good idea."
And I don't think we're gonna pass the bullets initiation ceremony. Well, you will. I don't know. I don't. You look like you're thinking about something, Kim.
Yeah, he's like, "All right, well, I've got an idea, but I don't think you're gonna like it."
Dude, you don't know how my month's been.
I could make a scene and say, "You're a spy from Clayton, and I'm gonna bring you in. And once we get past the barricade, I'm not saying it's the smartest thing to make a break for the vehicle, because we don't even know if it runs. But maybe if we could convince them that we could fix it, if you can demonstrate knowledge of this thing, you did drive up in one, and if you can prove that you either have access to one or you can get it moving, maybe we could get Eli's attention."
How superstitious, I'm talking to Kim here, how superstitious is this society? What if, like, That's fine. That's a fine enough plan. We got to get in there somehow. But what if, I feel like a lot of questions start getting asked. What if I'm like a seer and I had a dream about this and I dug in the dirt and I found the key. And so I've got the key and I know all these things and I'm like, and I talk about like how Eli's gonna lead everybody to victory and like sell them some kind of like ego boost, like prophecy bullshit. Like, are they gonna eat that up or is that crazy?
I'm not gonna lie, that sounds pretty crazy.
Shit.
They would probably think that you're like a tranked out Lobo and have lost your mind completely.
They're not wrong.
Then again, knowing the way things are run around here, maybe they don't care. But if you had a way to... If you had information on the vehicle,
yeah.
I think he may not care what your story is.
Fuck it. I don't exist. As long as we get in there, it can't hurt, right? It's been one thing from another. And I'm still here. I'm still alive. So it's probably fine. And the magnetism of everything, yeah, this is great. This is super great. And someday I'm going to figure out why you look so damn familiar.
Maybe it's just my charming personality.
Yeah, you're pretty hunky.
I'm laughing. He's not laughing, but I'm laughing. All right, so he's going to look around really quick and like looks and see like some of the latest guards that might be around. He's like, all right, Kate, so listen. So if you're good with this, we're gonna say that I brought you over as a gift. Maybe I just want something I'll want to refuel my bike. I'm just looking for a reward for turning you in.
I'm your captive. I will fight. I will do what you gotta do. Rough me up, whatever.
And if you say that you can make yourself valuable, not to throw you away in the dungeon because you got information, you could say maybe you're here because maybe you're a defector. Maybe you say whatever you want, but if you can let these people know as fast as you can that you're not to be thrown away right away, I can back up whatever story wherever you say I want, wherever I found you.
Cool. Okay.
Okay. All right, put your hands behind your back. And he's gonna like pull out like some. It's hard to see what kind of rope it is, but it's some kind of. It looks like it could be like a nylon rope, but it's not. It's a different kind of texture. It makes a different noise when he like zips it up behind you. But as he sort of ties it up and zips it up behind you, he puts this really simple, obvious, easy like shoelace knot into your hands, like into the palm of your hand.
Nice.
So that it appears that you're tied, but you are palming the knot itself. So you could just put a finger in there and just untie it. So then with that, he like looks through the crowd really quick, puts a hand on your back, and as he sees two bullets approaching, one of them's got like a club, another one's got like another like lead pipe. He's gonna shove you hard forward so that you stumble a second, and he's gonna say, "All right, come on, keep going." And he's gonna say, "Oh, you two," and he just like points at both of them and like motions for them to come closer with his fingers, and they're looking confused, and he's like, "Found this drifter out by the gate over at the west end. Somehow got over the laser grid and the glass. I think I deserve a reward for bringing her in here. I saw her coming from a long way from. Looks like she may have been over from Clayton Town."
Man, eat it, Bojo. You don't know shit.
And they're gonna look at each other like, And he's going to say, "Oh, yeah, and I think she's got access to some serious juice because she has this." And he's going to rip open the bag, and he's going to pull out the hoverboard and, like, just drop it on the ground so it hovers in front of them.
The fuck you going to do that?
And they're going to be like, "All right, that's crazy.
It's a family heirloom, and it's my rightful property."
If you're in Hill Valley, it's going to be Eli's property, and so the one dude's gonna grab it, put it under his arm, and he's going like this way. So the one dude is kind of not doing the talking, seems to be a little on the dimmer side. He picks it up and he's just like holding it like in amazement the whole time, but not like childlike amazement, but definitely just like, how the hell, like just like doesn't even know how you could get that working. The other one's gonna lead the way, And Kim is just going to give you another shove to follow them. He's going to stay behind you the entire time. You get the sense that with each of these shoves, it's less and less about moving you forward and more about just like, I'm still here. I'm still whatever.
I appreciate it.
And you're going to approach one of the barricades. They're going to say something really quick to them. They're going to slide the barricade like a metal sheet to the side. They're going to let you guys walk in, and you're going to walk up the little ramps up to the courthouse. And you're gonna soon find yourselves just inside, like not too far from the DeLorean time vehicle. And as the two guys who are there, they said, "All right, wait here 1 second." So they're gonna head off, and there's gonna be a couple other guards that surround you. They just look like typical bullets, but they took the hoverboard with them. And they disappear like off into like one of the side offices. I'm not sure what it used to be, but it's because everything here is all dirty, blown out. Like it's just walls and doors at this point. But as you're there waiting, Kim's gonna sort of like stand next to you, like fold his arms, kind of look around, and give like a couple side glances over at the DeLorean. And as you're this close now, you're not close enough to touch it, but you're definitely the closest you've been. I mean, and again, it really does look identical. And if you kind of look through the windows, they're very dusty, so it's hard to get a good sense of like what's inside.
Yeah.
But you're led to believe that this truly is, like, there's no mistaking it. Like, this does seem to be a duplicate. You don't notice, I mean, again, a quick glance, you don't see like your bag inside. You don't see anything that looks otherwise familiar.
Right.
The time circuits on the inside do look to be together. It doesn't look like much has been like ripped out of it. It's just more questions than answers. You see some of the dents on the hood from like where Eli would like place his feet when he's like resting on top of on the roof of the car and stuff. So you're starting to wonder if he was even able to like get inside it, and if so, like, does this thing run? Because there is an engine on the front of it. What's really going on here? There's just a lot more questions here. But I will say that after you're kind of waiting there in silence, it's really not long. Some more bullets come back, and among them, and there's a couple women that are bullets too, that are definitely like scarred up and like like mohawks and stuff. Just it seems to be the toughest characters who maybe have nothing to lose as whoever makes up the bullets.
Yeah.
But a big guy shows up, like the biggest guy out of all these other bullets that you see, but he's old. He's got like a Ron Perlman vibe about him in terms of just like how grizzled he is, and just like all the like lines in his face, and just this large proportion guy. And he's wearing an eye patch with a gash.
Shit.
But as you look at this guy, you say double shit, and you can't fully explain why, but this guy looks like the Biff Tannen that you knocked out back in like 1958.
Fuck.
So this guy's like the spitting image
Biff?
of Biff Tannen. And you say that? You say?
Yeah, I'm just, yeah.
He says, "It's Griff, you bojo. Do I know you?"
Oh, no, you just look like somebody I knew named Biff.
My granddad was Biff. I knew maybe like my dad was Biff Jr., but they're dead, so who the hell are you? And Kim is like, found her trying to come in through the west entrance. I was wondering about the reward that was mentioned for trespassers, especially ones that might be from Clayton Town. And he's like, "Oh, from Clayton Town. Okay. What's this? What you got here? I saw that you have a hoverboard. This is crazy. Where did you?
It's a family heirloom.
How did you juice it up?"
It never lost the juice. I don't know. I'm not a techie.
And you can see Kim he's getting uncomfortable, but like he's not like he's scared, but more of like he's very angry. Like you can see that there's like something boiling under the surface going on, where he's like, "Well, she had some other things on her. She says she's not a techie, but she's been eyeing the silver bullet here."
It's real cool. What do you want from me? I'm nervous now. I'm like, we're fucked. We're so fucked. If this thing doesn't drive, we're so fucked. Why would it drive? There's no reason it should drive. It was pulled by fucking horses.
So Griff says, all right. We're going to see what Eli says about this. Get moving. And he's going to start shoving both you and Kim up, and you're going to start going up some stairs, in through the back way, and you make your way up to the top, where it's getting to where the clocks, the clock gears and everything used to be, but it's all been blown out. It's all empty. There's no more clock in here. But the clock face, which was the large window where the clock face was, is completely blown out, and in front of that is a desk, they must have brought up from storage somewhere. It's an old wooden desk, probably from the 70s or even the 80s, and Eli is sitting on the desk facing out over his domain, and he hears you both come up, and he's going to turn around and he's just going to say, Griff, what are you bringing me now? What's the story here? And you can see again close up to Eli. He's also in his 50s. It's 50s, 60s actually. And Griff also in his 50s. Griff is just gonna throw the hoverboard down, and because of the way the gyro technology that's inside it just lands and it just hovers there on the ground. And Eli's going to be he's going to narrow his eyes at it, and he's going to look up and he's going to say, so, I'm assuming this is how you made it past the laser grid.
Obviously.
Where did you get this? This thing looks too clean.
Yeah, well, that's probably the same reason it works. It's...
Any truth to the rumor that you came up from Clayton Town?
No.
Well, we just had our asses handed to us by Clayton Town, and a couple hours later you show up with some crazy technology after I saw some crazy technology blow up some of the bullets. This is very interesting. I didn't know Ava had that much juice stocked up. Enough to take out a drone, and now enough to power hoverboards.
The fuck is Ava? I'm just a person who has a hoverboard, and that's a personal asset to me, and I'd like it back, thank you very much.
Eli's gonna snap his fingers, and one of the other goons with the bullets is gonna throw your bag to him, and he's gonna start digging through. He's gonna empty it on top of the desk and just go through it, and among the sleep inducer, which he looks at sort of puzzled, not sure about that, sets that down. He's going to say, so you come in here with a juiced up sleep inducer, juiced up hoverboard. Unless you're looking to trade any of these things, I don't know what the hell you're doing here.
I'm just surviving like everybody else. But I do have something that, look. Okay, hey. My hands are obviously tight. I'm look, I don't want this. I don't want any trouble. But...
He's going to snap his fingers again, and one of the tough-looking ladies is going to come over, grab you on either side of your cheek, and squeeze your mouth like that, and start looking inside your mouth, and they say, she ain't struggling. She ain't surviving. She's doing better than some of the people downstairs. This is, you seeing this, boss? And she's going to turn your face to Eli, and even from there, he's just he's going to hop down from, from his step where his desk is sitting on and come over, and she's going to let you go. And then he's going to say, so he's just going to get up in your face because you were starting to talk, and he's just go on.
Fuck you, man. All right, asshole. That car of yours, the Silver Bullet, you ever use it? Do you know what it does?
I know it commands respect, and I know that it used to run until the engine gave out.
But none of that strange stuff inside that didn't ever make you think?
I think it's someone's pet project to take an old piece of shit and make it hover, back when hovering would work.
Okay. Hey, lady. Grab the thing around my neck. Not my neck. The necklace.
She'll just grab the necklace and just yank it immediately to snap it. And then, yeah, she'll hold it up, and it's got a key on it.
It says DMC, just like your car.
She'll hand it over to Eli, and Eli's going to look at it and be like, lost mine a while ago. That's interesting. Where did you get this?
Just like everything else, I found it.
Yeah, and it's mint, too. Okay. Just like it. Now, did you find any of this over in Clayton Town?
Fuck no.
Okay. Let's go downstairs. And he's going to just lead everybody downstairs. He's holding the key the entire time. And as he gets back down to where it's open, there's some of the horses, the stuff that are there, and the crowd is still out there far away. So you're like in view of guards and like of other thing of the people out there, but they're pretty far away. He's going to walk over to the car, put the key in the door, and open it up. And he's going to say, now how about that? Now what are the odds that you'd have the exact key to open up the silver bullet, but yet you also have a hoverboard, you got a sleep inducer, which I haven't seen in like decades, and it all seems to be working. And you found that, you found your way in here, and you don't know nothing about Ava or Clayton Town. And Kim is just going to lean in and say, for my reward, I'd like to just maybe get some juice and be on my way. Just power my bike if that's all right. And they're like, all right, let's someone go find him an extra spare battery pack, but you ain't going anywhere until we figure more of this stuff out. He's like, well, whatever you say. And now Griff is down there too with you as well, just sort of just watching quietly.
Does it turn on? Does the car turn on?
Are you asking out loud?
Yeah.
He's going to put the key in the ignition and try to turn it over. And it's struggling for a second, but as that happens, you see everyone kind of gets like silent and just like watching, because like this it hasn't made noise, like in a while. And he's gonna say, it's been a while. Maybe we need some gasoline. He goes, all right. He's gonna snap again and just like, let's get some gasoline, and they're gonna come over and they're gonna try and fill it up. So while they're gonna do that real quick, Eli's very intent on like watching this take place. And if you look over at Kim's kind of like watching, like tense, like sort of like waiting to see if you're gonna say anything, because you've been doing a lot of talking. But if you're just gonna watch, they're gonna come over like a little red gasoline tank from out the back, and they're gonna put it in. They're gonna empty it. It's gonna take a little bit, and he's gonna start trying again. After they're done and they seal it up. But finally, it works, and this larger engine on top kicks on, and it's running, and you see that there are people out watching, like from like the market or whatever, just sort of like surprised, and just kind of like staring, like it hadn't made a noise like this in a long time. So with that, he will turn it off and get out, and it's open, and he's like, all right, so what, you want some kind of reward for this, for bringing the key in? What's your game?
I want the circuits on that big dash of crap you don't care about in there.
What is it? Why, if it's a piece of crap, what use do you have?
Well, it's the key to fixing all the world's problems, Eli. But, I don't know if you could handle it if I told you what it was.
He says, I think I can handle a bit. What are you suggesting? And Kim is going to say, I think I can see from here that this does have a hover conversion available, and if you've got a fusion reactor on the back, I think this thing could fly if you had the right touch. And he's gonna take what Kim said, and he's gonna look back at you. And it's like expectantly, like waiting to see if you're gonna add anything.
All right. Everything's mint because it's new, Eli. Time is non-linear, bud.
He's like, you've got the silver bullet up and running, and for that I am thankful. I don't know what other BS you're trying to feed me about time and...
Not thinking fourth dimensionally.
thinking fourth dimensionally. All I know is I'm in charge. You see all these people out here, the real people out here, the people that are struggling, the ones that you just sort of snuck your way in through. They're looking to me, okay? They're looking to me to feed them, to protect them, to give them purpose.
Do you want to save them from all this?
That's what I'm working on. We're trying to rebuild society here, and Ava, and in her little shithole shanty town, is holding on to one of the few pieces of good soil and is not really working with us.
But man, you could stop it from happening, Eli.
I am trying to stop that from happening.
No. All of it. The explosion. You could stop it from happening.
What are you talking about?
Look. I move towards the car.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm seeing how far they're gonna let me get.
Yeah, they'll let you. Yeah,
like,
Eli's standing there, so
my arms are still behind my back.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, did you read any of these labels?
Yeah, it's like some weird ass clock.
Yeah. Hey, look, humor me here, huh? Like, humor the girl with all the weird shit, right? Come here, turn the fucking car back on, and punch these fucking buttons, Eli.
All right, he'll just give a frustrated frown, but he'll get back inside. The door's still open.
I talk him through it. See if we can turn on the time circuits and everything.
He turns it on. He turns on the time circuits, and you can hear like that it's running, and the flux capacitor isn't running like normal. It's like struggling. It's not running smoothly. It's like it's not quite. But as you look at the readout display of
yeah, I'm curious about those dates.
So as the dates come up in front of you, you see the top part, which is destination time is 888. The year is 2025 at 12 a.m. But the thing that surprises you is what it says the current date and time is. Because the current date and time says February 25th, 2049. And you were like, that's not where we thought we were. We thought we were November 22nd, 2046.
Yeah.
But that says that clear as anything. And the last time departed is just full 8 p.m.
Shit. They work, but they're all toasted. Huh. Alright.
And he says, like I said, some weird-ass clock. You got gobbledygook around here. I'm thinking this is when it was built, when it was made, when it was turned on, and you got today's date. That's how I know what time it is.
Eli, I met you in 2016. And you were still leader of a gang called the Bullets. That's wild. What do bullets mean to you?
I just thought it sounded cool.
Well, you're right.
Yeah. steps out of the car, and he's like,
Look. Just need to get this thing running and go on back.
and go on, what, into the past? We're going to go into the past, and we're going to fix this?
Now he gets it.
Griff is going to say, like, oh, but enough. This is garbage, Eli. Why you give them to me? I'll take them out back, and I'll waste them both, and you won't have to worry about anything. He's like, Griff, hold on a minute. You have to forgive him. He's gets to be pretty impatient when we don't get to juice up some of his inner circuitry.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know. I didn't go for it when I was younger either, but some of us did.
Okay, look, Eli. Did you... Where did you find this?
I didn't find it till after everything went boom. It was in, like, one of the police lockups, but I didn't know anything else about it. I just knew that it was pretty neat looking.
What do you think is going on?
I already told you. I think this is some weird pet project someone did, trying to make it this old hunk of junk.
Okay. That's great.
I know you're talking about time travel.
Yeah, I am. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is crazy. Can we get to the point? Or is this going to help? Or how is this going to help? What are you getting at?
I don't know anymore. Eli. But I do know that this place sucks. And you know, I can go back and I can make sure that no one ever hurts you.
He's going to give you a long look. And he's going to look to the lady who grabbed you before. And he's going to say, can you cut her loose for a second? And she's going to pull out a quick knife. Cut the ropes, which, you were holding onto the knot anyway, but as far as they know now, whatever. So your hands are free. And he's going to say, come around the other side. And can you just get in with me for a second?
Okay.
So you can go around to the other side. You open that other side, and if you get in, he'll close the door. So you're inside the car, and it's nice and quiet. And he turns to you and he says, "Listen, again, I don't know what you're getting at, but I'm just gonna lay it all on the line here. I'm getting old, and I wasn't lying when I said these people are looking to me for something. And I was also not lying when I said that Ava was keeping the food and everything to herself. I don't like where things are going. I don't like what I've been forced to do recently. But no one was doing anything. And all the people that are around here, yeah, some of them are savages. Some of them have done bad things. I've done bad things too. But when there's this many people together, I don't know of another community that's this big. I don't know of another community that's this big that also has access to potential clean water and potential food. And if you could help me talk to Ava and get this whole thing sorted out so I don't have to burn the place down and she doesn't have to dive bomb us with more drones, I'm all ears."
I put my hand on his hand and I say, "Eli, I think that that's amazing. And all right. Yeah. So here's the thing. Ava's hoarding the resources. You got all these people here. I can make that stop. I can change everything. I can change anything. Eli, I know I sound like a crazy person right now. It's just that I keep getting these memories that they're overlapping. But I don't want to stop existing while this is the case. This world.
You don't have to worry about us killing you if you help out.
Yeah, no, I want to help out. What do you think I can do?
I don't know, but you seem to have access to a lot of juice and you seem to have access to a lot of equipment.
Yeah. Because I am a time traveler. But one time, you put me in a refrigerator. Isn't that crazy? I'm gonna do that thing that I always do. I'm talking to myself aloud now. I'm gonna just tell all the things. I try to be all confusing, and the only thing that gets me through is the truth. So it's got to be, Eli. This is a time machine. You probably already figured that out. You're a smart cookie. You wanna save Hill Valley and liberate everything. Me too. We came from 2016. We jumped to here. That's why I got the stuff, Eli. That's why I got those things that are too clean. But we jumped to here, and it's a hellhole, and everything went sideways, Eli. But there's 2 DeLoreans, Eli.
What do you mean 2 DeLoreans?
It's like there's 2 of me, and there's 2... Does that make sense?
I mean, technically, there's probably an old Kate out there somewhere if she's still alive. Like, you know, the social media Kate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just
not sure if she's alive or dead.
I'm talking aloud and when working Kate through her temporal breakdown. There's a man who can fix this car. We can unify Hill Valley. Like, you're right, Eli. These people shouldn't starve. There needs to be organization. Why is there a schism between you and that other town? They won't parlay, they won't play ball. Like, it's like, you know, people can't starve, people can't die, people can't live in little clusters. Humanity works together. And if it doesn't work together, well, I mean, you're a leader, and that's great.
He says, yeah. Me coming in, there was complications with Ava. She felt that she could no longer meet the demands of the people here. So she froze us out and was asking for, you know, more things that, like more access to the power sources that we had here. And I'll be honest, we did have the Mist Fusion. I didn't know about it for a while. But that now that we have it, we've been resorted to using it for tool and weapon recharging. And every once in a while, we can power the city, but it's an old device, so it only powers everything for so long, and the energy output versus what you put in is dwindling as the time goes by. But if you feel we can talk sense into Ava...
Why are you being so nice to me?
Like I told you, I'm getting too old for this shit. I did bad things in my past I'm not proud of.
Okay.
But, you know, I've got... I had a family of my own, you know, and I don't want... Now this out here, all these people, these are my family now.
Okay. Yeah, these people need to be saved. It needs to be fixed.
And it's tough to keep them in check. I mean, some of these guys, some of the bullets that... You had to give them a direction. You had to sound tough. You know, I'm not that much older than some of them, but I am that much older than most of them. And without simple instruction, and they get malnourished, and they get a little crazy. They get a little stir crazy. They get a little violent. And I'm trying to keep everything in check, but it's a hard image to keep up. This has been grating on me for a while, and I want to just fix this. And if this vehicle can be a chip, a barter chip, like a bargaining chip.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it, Eli. Let's change the past by changing the future.
Well, I'm living in the present, so anything you think we can do now...
There is an inventor in... Yeah. Okay. Bring me there. We'll... Shit, fuck. Eli, you have to understand, I've been in a lot of life or death situations in a very, very, very concentrated amount of time. I don't know what's going on. I'm just a kid. Like, it doesn't make sense. I don't know how to deal with this stuff. But, all right. The goal is to bring the silver bullet to that town because there is an inventor there who can fix it. And he and I traveled from the past. But if you do this, if you take me there, and if you bring the silver bullet, and you let us explore that possibility, I think that we can make them listen, because they have to listen, because the only way to build a future from all this is to work together. And if you want to do that, Eli, I can't see any damn reason why they wouldn't want that. Let me come clean. We're here coming clean to each other. You're trusting me with a lot of information. I don't know why, other than that I clearly seem desperate and scared, which I am. But I
told you, I'm too old. I'm too fucking tired.
You should have killed me, probably. Doesn't make sense. But I like you.
Does this vehicle hover?
Yeah, it should.
That might make the difference. Let's step out, see about making a deal. So he's going to open his door and be right back to in the courthouse thing. Griff is just like, Eli, come on. What you're wasting you're wasting time. I could take care of him. I'll take him out to Dead Man's Road. We could lay him across. We could take the silver bullet. I'll make a grease stain out of both of them. It'll be fun. I don't mind doing it. And Eli's like, Griff, I know you're excited. We got to think bigger picture here, okay? Take him back upstairs. I'll meet you in the office in just a few minutes, all right? And he's just like, Griff does not like that. He's not happy about that whatsoever. And Kim is freaking stewing, like the fact that he's got to stand here next to Griff and is just being silent the whole time.
Kim can thank his fucking cards that Griff doesn't recognize him.
So he leads them back upstairs, or leads all of you back upstairs. But Eli steps out. He's not joining you right away.
Thanks for listening to Kate Was Here. To support this and other surprise RPG experiences, head to patreon.com/omniverse media.